Alright, Travis Wingate, so I'm not going to do porn on this one, so this is going to be labeled something like exclusive knowledge. And so the few of you who do watch are going to find out the information. Going over the news, I've added Fox 13 News because ABC 4 News is caving. They're covering up the real news that's going on here. Fox 13 News also, as I reported yesterday, that Utah is back in the red, having gone back to school, which is very disheartening. Today, Fox 13 News Utah is reporting that because Gary Herbert has not issued a full state of emergency for the coronavirus, which I thought he did, even though the legislature came out previous to that saying we're not going to fund a state of emergency anymore. Which is causing lots of confusion among Utah Mormons, as the church is putting out videos now about Mormons attending church and other events. Bednar held a meeting where people are not socially distancing anymore and are not wearing masks. As, like I said, we're back in red. And so, with this concern, the news, Fox 13 News Utah, was reporting that Vernal is now protesting, not for the government to care for us as Utahns, but instead to say, drop the mask mandatory requirement. And their reasoning is, if we're not going to have a state of emergency, we're not wearing a mask. And that's the mindset of Utah Mormons. And that's the whole summum bonum, what's the Latin for that? Is that when Herbert lifted business restrictions on May 1st, everybody flooded the streets. We're free! It's over! Yeah, no. It then rose and then kept rising as Herbert kept lifting more restrictions and saying, hey, we're yellow. Oh, you guys are green. Wow. We were red. And as a result of this confusion caused by the governor, which was threatened by Nelson, as I've gone over, they made the statement, we are only going to allow Mormons to practice their religion only according to the local leaders. So thus, that was the extortion threat on local leaders to lift the restrictions so that Mormons can go back to worshiping their inverted pentagram god. And now we're seeing the consequences of doing that. That Mormons and Utahns are now under the belief that the whole thing is a hoax, that it's been overblown, and that we shouldn't have closed in the first place, and that the death toll is no different than the flu or other things, despite the blatant, obvious conditions of increasing into the red zone for not shutting down early enough, hesitating to shut down, opening up too early, manipulating the numbers to justify going back to work, going back to school. The purpose for going back to work was so that people don't keep getting free money. And then with school, that's our children's lives on the line. And so this is This is the consequences, and it's death. And that's why this is so disturbing, is that what Governor Herbert did was so dangerous. This put Utahns' lives in jeopardy, and many have died and will continue to die because he didn't follow the advice of the healthcare professionals immediately. He wanted the praise of the world to show that Utah was going to be the example to the world. And Utah is paying the price for it. Another thing that I've been concerned about is there's one of my regulars who has joined in his recognition of the significance of the 25th today, the symbolism behind it. However, I'm concerned about tomorrow. I'm really getting bugged, and I can't escape the feeling, the bugging. It's pressuring me inside, warning about tomorrow. And I'm trying to analyze it logically, trying to find some excuse to dismiss it, and I can't. I mean, yeah, I have no clue as to what's going to happen, but it has to do with my ex, Karen. She's your typical Mormon, but there was something unique about her that could not be explained. She was able to predict or ask for things in her prayers that got granted. And she didn't have to do any work to get what she wanted, which is frustrating in and of itself. It made no sense. And that's why I'm bugged. It's because I know that she has that thing about her that I just can't explain away. And that's why tomorrow I'm concerned. Because when she first tried to come back, after she'd been moved out, I had told her, if anything were to happen, some natural disaster, some major disaster, some threat that would make it very clear that you're not going to be able to stay in your home anymore, I gave her a location to meet me. And over the months since I first did that, she's sort of forgotten, and I have occasionally reminded her. And then now she's also been coming back. But the last time she left because she fell prey to my mother. She contacted my mother, and that pissed me off to no end, because I know my mother. My mother lays snares and traps to destroy me. to make sure that people control my life, that people punish me. And people don't understand that if you don't know my mother like I do. And Karen fell prey because she walked in as a lamb to the slaughter. However, despite her getting mad at me for the trap that my mother had set, and she left, Karen left, vowing never to return again. She wanted to come back again. Apparently she showed up yesterday. If you remember yesterday, I was dead tired from waking up way too early and doing that video that not as many people are going to. I did a full translation of facsimile number 2. Because I woke up from the dream being told to make the video. And this morning I again was inspired, but not from a dream. It was inspired, and made this morning's dream or video. And I had found a note Monday evening and then this morning that Karen will be coming back tomorrow. And that's what's bugging me with all of this. I was thinking that the extension that I got on the 11th, if you remember those videos, gave me more time, and then I thought, wait a minute, I'm able to contact these certain government entities to assist me during this extended period of time, even do court filings. And I was thinking, oh, okay, well, I'm being given another extension beyond the end of the month, even though I was concerned that something was going to happen before the end of the month. And like I said, I don't know until it happens. But when Karen is thrown into the mix, I have to stop and ponder seriously. I was thinking that maybe it would happen on 9/11, and I've searched the skies. The only thing tomorrow is that the moon will be at the knee of Ophiuchus. Every knee shall bow, and every tongue confess that Jesus is the Christ. The moon representing religion. The moon bowing to the King of Kings. Which may be. That's the only thing I can find in the near future. But again, I don't know. So, heads up. Heads up.